Alright, so you just went out and you bought a brand new bike, right? And you want to learn how to ride it. Well, my first recommendation is to get with the Motorcycle Safety Foundation and take one of their courses, the Basic Riders course. They're going to teach you a lot. For me, I know when I first started riding, I was really young. Some people out there don't have that luxury, so they don't know the first thing about a bike when they get one. So even the Basic Riders course can be, you know, a little intimidating at first. Alright, I'm gonna go over basic controls and starting out. What you're gonna do, you know, when you first take off on a bike, what to expect and what you should and shouldn't do. You know, first off, you're gonna want like a parking lot. Right, we're in a school parking lot. What better place to learn than in a school, right? So, vacant parking lot. You can see. I don't know if you get the angle, but there's no cars at all. All right, your first time riding, you should probably have an experienced rider with you. Just make sure you know somebody who can help you, watch you, coach you. You know what you need. All right. So kick it on. All right, you get your key right here, obviously. Then you know you get your starter over here, your throttle control button, all that. This is your front brake or your clutch, your throttle right here. Throttle, like you watch a lot of YouTube videos and you'll see people that don't know how to ride bikes. There's always somebody recording, you know, obviously, because they want to see them do a wheelie and then wreck into something. What causes that is throttle control. They don't know how to control the throttle. So throttle control is one of the most important things you can learn about your bike. It can keep you from wrecking. It can make you wreck. If you abuse it, it will destroy you. So you know, when you first start out, don't even give it any gas. Just slowly release the clutch. You can see, just slowly release it, and that's gonna cause your idle of your bike to make you take off. All right. If you always see on those videos, whenever they do it, you hear the bike, you know, you hear the RPMs just go through the roof, and then the bike, you know, goes 12 o'clock and takes off, runs into something, they get smashed. What's causing that is when you grab the handlebars, you have to think that this also rotates. So if you grab it and you're going, the bike's taking off and you're trying to hold on, it's naturally going to pull your hand. So that's going to give it more throttle. It's going to crack the throttle open even farther. All right, so when you're holding on to the handlebar, hold with a stiff wrist. All right, you don't want to let your wrist turn one way or the other. You want to hold it straight. So holding on is more this way, not rolling. So, and you know, once you get more experience, eventually you learn. You know, you don't want to really even grip the bars too hard, especially in like cornering, stuff like that. You basically let the bike do its own thing. So with that being said, let's go ahead. All right, take off. Hopefully all my camera angles are right. I didn't test it, I just rocked it out. Alright, so we're in neutral right now, alright? And first off, we're going to kick it down into first gear. Once we kick down into first gear, you want to look around, you know, make sure there's no cars or anything like that. Pretty bad to take off your first time you get smacked by a car, alright? So you release the brake, alright? Make sure you're not on a hill when you first start off, because starting on a hill, you know, if it's your first time on a bike, you're going to kill it, especially if you don't know how to use a manual or stick shift. So basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly release the throttle, or the clutch. I release the clutch, my bike starts going forward. I didn't give it any gas at all, no gas. Just release the throttle, and it starts to move forward. Alright, now, if you ever give it too much, if you're giving it too much throttle, all you have to do is squeeze in the clutch. If you feel like it's taking off too fast, pull in the clutch, and you can hear it automatically kills it. If you're going and you pull the clutch at the same time and you hold the throttle, your bike's still not going to go anywhere. So if you feel like it's getting out of control, first answer is to squeeze the clutch, slowly apply the brake, slowly. So I'm gonna start going. All right, I'm gonna come around this corner and I'm gonna give it too much gas, hold the gas, and pull the throttle, and you can hear the engine rev up, but my bike won't go any faster. All right, that's what it's gonna sound like. That's not good for your engine. But it's better than smashing your bike into a tree or doing a 12 o'clock wheelie, losing control, and your bike flies out from underneath you. Alright, so we'll do a couple more starts and stops and then we'll move on to something else. Alright, make sure that every time you stop, you can see your foot needs to come down. Always put your feet down, alright? I've seen too many people stop their bike and not put their foot down, and next thing you know, their bike wrecks. I don't know how you forget that, but they do. Alright, so again, all I'm going to do, I'm a little more of an incline right now, so it's probably going to be a little more, yeah, it's going to lag out a little more. Alright, you can hear it try to stall out a little bit, but it's not steep enough incline. Alright, first off, if you want, start by walking your bike. Alright, both my feet are on the ground, I'm not going to fall. There's no way to fall. Alright, once you get more experience, you know, you pull your feet up right away. Alright, it gets a lot easier. Alright, next thing I want to cover is steering, alright, with your bike. We're not talking about cornering, alright, high speeds, running canyons or track days or anything like that. We're talking basic cornering when you first start off. One of the main things that happens is you immediately think you're going to fall. Alright, it's natural to think you're going to fall because you only have 2 wheels. Alright, obviously there's not a 4th wheel to stabilize you, alright, 3rd or 4th wheel to keep you from falling, like a trike or a car. So you can see the bike will just naturally rock. Alright, back and forth, it's going to fall if I let it go. Your bike is constantly falling the whole time you're riding it. It is going to continuously fall. Your throttle is what's going to keep you from falling. Alright, so rolling on the throttle causes your bike to stand up straight. Something you need to remember later on when you start cornering, you hit canyons. So you can see when we start, we're actually going to have a lot more maneuverability than you would think. Alright, it's natural to think you're going to fall, but you can turn your handlebars. Alright, by turning the handlebars, as long as you don't kill power to the rear wheel, so you're not pulling in on the clutch, you're not, you know, hitting the brake, that chain's still moving, still rotating your rear tire, you can actually turn pretty sharp. Alright, you can sit here and do circles if you want. Alright, just by turning the handlebar. I'm not counter steering, I'm not counterbalancing, I'm just turning the handlebars right now, and you can see how much you can actually turn. It's actually, you know, quite a bit more than a lot of people think. Alright, so don't be afraid to turn your handlebars. Alright, when you first start going, you don't even have to give it any gas. You can see I could probably make a whole loop around this parking lot. Oh, I might die right here. You could probably make a whole loop around the parking lot without ever pulling on the throttle. So if that's something that could help you out, you might try that. Every bike's going to be different. If it doesn't matter, you know, make, model, CC, it's the same bike. I could go get on another 750, exact same miles, exact same year, exact same, you know, make, everything, and it's going to feel different when I ride it. It's just the way they're built. The clutches wear different, right? The throttle plays different. It's always going to be different. So before you actually, you know, go out and hit the streets, you want to make sure that you actually give it, you know, give it some time, let, you know, figure out how to basically get your bike to go and stop without any problems. Once you get that down, then you can just, you know, wander out around the streets. Biggest help you can get is a motorcycle safety foundation. All right, that's the best thing for you. Go to their basic rider's course. Go to their advanced sport bike rider's course. All right, those things are going to help you. A lot of stuff they make you do might seem stupid at first, but even the most ignorant exercises that they make you do, you still are going to learn. You know, you're going to learn quite a bit. It's still pretty useful. A lot of the stuff that they teach you is going to make you feel very uncomfortable at first. It's not going to feel natural. It's going to feel like you're going to wreck. It's going to feel like you're doing something wrong. Obviously, you know, if you're watching this video, it's intended for first-time riders or, you know, very inexperienced riders. A lot of the stuff they're going to tell you to do in the advanced sport bike rider's course and the basic rider's course, it's going to feel like you're not supposed to be doing it on a bike, but that's why you're there, to learn the techniques, the different tools and tricks, you know. It's not like a car, you know. A car, you can basically, you know, get in a car, and you, in essence, you wake up wherever you were going, you zoned out the whole way there. Being on a motorcycle is a little different. You got to pay attention the whole time. Always got to pay attention. It's the same that they tell you. A lot of riders say it. Ride like you're invisible. That's good. That's good advice because you're so small in the streets. Not everybody sees you. You know, not everybody sees you around. So they might, you know, lane change or turn off the highway or cut, you know, cut you off without meaning to because they didn't see you. eventually you're going to get to the point where you can just go out and cruise. You're not really thinking about a whole lot. You're kind of paying attention without paying attention.